You're with The Buck Stops Here. I'm Ankita Mukherjee. From Delhi University's Ramjas College to Jamia Millia Islamia have our campuses started gagging free speech the moment they sense trouble. Are our universities, which have always been the place for debate and dissent, now running scared of words and ideas? BJP member Shazia Ilmi has alleged that she was barred from speaking at a panel on Triple Talaq that was organised by an RSS-backed forum on the premises of Jamia. Authorities in Jamia deny they barred Shazia Ilmi from speaking, though they have admitted on record that the organisers were asked to change how they framed the topic from Triple Talaq to Muslim women's empowerment. They said the former was an uncomfortable subject. The event, slotted for the 16th of February, was postponed to the 28th of the month, and the two BJP leaders, Shazia Ilmi and Meenakshi Lekhi, who were on the original invite, did not feature in the second one. We asked tonight, is freedom of speech now a scarce commodity on campuses around the country?
Jamia Millia Islamia, the latest to enter the free speech fracas, with BJP leader Shazia Ilmi alleging that her name was dropped from a panel on Triple Talaq, which was changed at the last minute. Originally meant for February 16th, the seminar was later held on February 28th under a new theme: Muslim women's empowerment. The revised list of speakers did not have Ilmi's name.
स्टेज तक से ये बात कही गई कि अगर मैं आ जाऊंगी तो माहौल खराब हो जाएगा. मेरे आने से माहौल क्यों खराब होगा? मैं तो जामिया की अलुमनाई रही हूं.
The organisers of the event were the RSS-backed Forum for Promotion of National Security, who concurred with Ilmi's version.
पहले 16th को हमारा ये प्रोग्राम 3 तलाक पे हम लोग करने वाले थे, जिसमें 2 चेंजेस किए हैं. कुछ मुद्दा उन्होंने बताया कि यूनिवर्सिटी का मामला थोड़ा हमारा सेंसिटिव है. जिन लोगों के नाम चेंज हुए हैं उनको बोलने का पूरा अधिकार है अपने तरफ से.
The Jamia administration, however, disagreed with the allegation of deliberately dropping BJP leaders Shazia Ilmi and Meenakshi Lekhi from the conference. They had given us a subject for discussion and we were uncomfortable with the subject, but per se we had no objection to any individuals participating.
It was nothing to do with the university administration or the students. So, if the organizer doesn't deem it fit to call or invite Shazia Ilmi, how are we coming into the picture?
The students of Jamia, however, see in this a deeper politics.
क्या ट्रिपल तलाक नेशनल सिक्योरिटी का मामला है? क्या मुस्लिम वीमेन एम्पावरमेंट का मामला जो है नेशनल सिक्योरिटी का मामला है? वीमेन एम्पावरमेंट की बात करिए, खाली मुस्लिम वीमेन एम्पावरमेंट की बात क्यों करता है? This is totally a politically motivated game plan.
It's like instigating people to come up and do certain activities so that the shift comes up, the shift changes from DU to Jamia, and people won't talk about freedom of speech.
While the university administration has distanced itself from Ilmi's allegations and gone to the extent of saying that the event was organised by a private forum, for the students it marks an important moment of discussion, especially in the light of the recent events in DU and JNU. In Jamia, with camera person Khurshid, Nikhil Pandey for NDTV.
All right, we're waiting to be joined by Shazia Ilmi from Dehradun tonight, but also joining us on the show tonight, Shahid Siddiqui, editor of Night Dunya, Professor Mridula Mukherjee, former director of the Nehru Memorial Museum and Library. She's also been Professor of Modern History at the Center for Historical Studies in JNU. Professor Rakesh Sinha, RSS ideologue, also on the program with us tonight. It is regrettable that despite many conversations with us through the day, Jamia Vice Chancellor Talat Ahmed declined to come on the show. He did, however, give us that statement, which we will be showing prominently through the program. He didn't nominate any other spokesperson, however, to reflect Jamia's view or Jamia's position on this. This is what he told us. And if we can have that graphic up on our screens, the Organisers Forum for Awareness of National Security had given us a subject for discussion. We were uncomfortable with the subject, but per se, we had no objection to any individuals participating. Well, Shazia Ilmi on the phone line with us at this point. Shazia, you are saying that what happened to Umar Khalid and Shaila Rashid in Ramjas is essentially what happened to you in Jamia. You were first invited to speak on Triple Talaq. We have a picture of that invite, and then the seminar topic was changed. And were you then, in fact, dropped from the panel of invitees?
Well, absolutely. And as I hear from both the organizers and my independent sources in Jamia, which incidentally is my alma mater, and I did my master's in mass communication from there, it's really unfortunate to tell you this, and I'm deeply aggrieved by the same, that the Jamia management worked overtime to prevent me from speaking. Not only did they dissuade the organizers, but eventually pressurized them. So much so that during the seminar in the beginning, they warned the organizers that I should not show up. Organizers had sent me a message in the morning reminding me that I have to show up at 3:30 for a panel discussion, which earlier they said was on Triple Talaq, and now when I read the wording was on women empowerment. So I realized that they just wanted to maybe to broad base the discussion, but I was still invited. Right. Around 3 p.m. or so, I could not get through to the organizers, and I wondered whether I should go at all. At that point of time, I started getting a lot of phone calls from some of my friends, and I wondered why there are so many persistent calls from unknown numbers. Okay. Some of them they turned out to be my friends, and just my friends, and some old faculty who are in the faculty. They told me that Shazia, please don't come. The things are very rough.
Was there a formal communication to that effect to you, Shazia? Do you have this in writing from somebody that you were?
The entire communication took place through the organizers, and I actually confronted them in the evening because I got to know the entire story. How there were so many students waiting outside the seminar room to prevent me, because this was told to be my Jamia students. The well-wishers, there were many people who wanted to.
So you're saying there was a threat of violence?
They were shut down and stopped by other Jamia students. But my problem is not with these rabble-rousers and these gundas. My problem is with the management, because the vice chancellor told and the provost really worked hard at ensuring that I don't show up. And that itself is very distressing.
All right, now Shazia, unfortunately we don't have the Jamia authorities on that show to respond to what you're saying. But we take your point that obviously you felt that there was a certain fear of violence on campus, and I want to take this across to the other panelists on this discussion tonight. Professor Mridula Mukherjee, we do have the Vice Chancellor of Jamia saying on record that the organizers were urged at least to change the subject of the seminar, even though he has said in his statement to us that they had no objections to Shazia Ilmi or any other speaker per se. Now, we have to take that at face value at this point at least, but do you believe that the implication here at least seems to be that there was a possibility of violence, of trouble on campus, and that was why university authorities felt the need to do this? In the same way that Ramjas had to cancel their invitation to Omar Khalid and Shaila Rashid.
Yeah, I think it would be important to remember that in Ramjas also, the issue was not the cancellation of the invitation, because that had already happened a day earlier.
Yes.
Because the principal had in fact taken the decision and told the seminar organizers to cancel the invitation. The trouble started when there was a protest and then a clash, in which stone throwing and all that started on the issue. So here I think it's important to remember that as far as the authorities are concerned, the only statement we have so far to go by, and it would be, I think, wrong of us to prejudge the issue by presuming that they are not telling the truth. They are quite clearly saying that they did discuss the topic with the organizers. And let me also say that from what a little I have read of the information which is available so far, they were actually renting this auditorium out to this outside group. And I think any organization, when it is renting out an auditorium or somebody is holding, has a right to discuss whether the topic that is going to be discussed there is within the framework of that organization. So far, so good. What indeed, if the Jamia authorities have put pressure on the organizers to change Shazia's name, I think it's very wrong and it must be criticized and condemned. Because I don't think she should be shut out.
Why per se should there be a problem discussing something like Triple Talaq, which is currently in the courts, which is about to be referred to a larger constitution bench? It is possibly the time when there should be a broad engagement on the subject and as much debate as possible on it. So why per se would Jamia authorities have a problem discussing Triple Talaq?
Well, I think that it could be that knowing their constituency, knowing the area where they are, knowing the nature of the students, it could be that they apprehended that if this was directly the subject, there could be protests and attempts to stop the seminar, and maybe they thought a more general sounding title could actually allow the function to be held. See, let's be also very clear. This is very clearly an RSS promoted organization, and Jamia is not saying no. So let's look at it from the other point of view also. It's not that Jamia is stalling or trying to stop any RSS promoted activities from happening on the campus. What they are stopping is at the moment not very clear, but I do want to say that if there is any suggestion that any of the speakers' names have been blocked out by pressure from the university authorities, then I think that must be challenged.
Rakesh Sinha, I want you to come in on this, because this is a point that's being raised even by the students of Jamia, and we heard that in the story that we played out for you. They're saying that this was an RSS-backed forum organizing an event in the university, and that perhaps, you know, this is a forum that is apparently on national security. So why were they A, discussing Triple Talaq at all, and B, was this in fact an attempt to deflect from what has happened in Ramjas?
Look, this is not merely undemocratic, but it also exposes secular character of Jamia Millia University. Because they have not only stopped Shazia Ilmi, they compel the organizers to change their topic. Look, you rightly pointed out, Triple Talaq is being discussed all over the country. The law ministry has issued a certain questionnaire, and everyone is discussing. And Jamia Millia is part of the secular fabric of this country. Most of the people claim that Jamia is the best example of secular.
But as Professor Mukherjee points out, they did allow the discussion to take place.
No. They have compelled. Vice Chancellor accepted that topic has been changed. He accepts this fact. This is more. Cancelling the or changing the speaker is not important. Changing the topic is more important. This exposes the character of Jamia Millia. Second thing I want to say, look, this is a part of a larger debate. It is. I am not discussing one event. Tariq Fateh's venue was changed in Kolkata. No liberal came out. Tariq Fateh was insulted in Delhi. Nobody came. The Barkati issued fatwa against Tasnima Nasreen time and again. No liberal came to condemn it.
So all right. Okay. So the response. All right. I hear you. I take your point.
30 seconds. I am just asking that. Look, there are people. Mridula Mukherjee is sitting with me. See, Aditya Mukherjee and Suchita Mahajan, all three wrote a book, RSS school text and the murder of Mahatma Gandhi. Ajin Nurani has been writing against the RSS. Samsul Islam has written a book. But look,
Professor Sinha, let's stay on the subject at hand. I completely accept your point.
I'm saying that.
I'm saying that the immediate reaction has been that there is selective outrage. I'm taking your point.
You are opposing RSS. You are opposing RSS, no matter.
Yes.
But you have double standard, dualism in
dealing the double standards. Yes. Let me take that point about double standards across to Shahid Siddiqui. The immediate reaction to this, Shahid Siddiqui, has been that there is selective outrage in situations like this. If a few thousand can march for Omar Khalid or Shaila Rashid's right to speak on the Delhi University campus, why isn't there enough outrage now about Shazia Ilmi? Do you think that this comparison is just and fair? Equating the Ramjas and Jamia. Yes.
Unfortunately, we all are practicing double standards. We are selective. We look at what the others are doing. I'm sure Shazia Ilmi has condemned what happened in Ramjas. I'm sure Miss Lekhi has also condemned, and my friend, they have condemned what happened in Ramjas. Because I totally condemn what happened in Jamia, because I feel that any university is the space to discuss, question, talk about even something which is totally, not allowed in our system. That's what universities are all about. They are not there to cage the minds and the hearts and the ideas of the young people. Unless they have the free flight, the universities cannot develop. Our young generation cannot develop. And I remember in my days at Delhi University, we had total freedom to discuss anything. I remember I once called Mr. Balraj Madhok to discuss, and in a college like Zakir Hussain College, which was known as Delhi College, which was basically a Muslim college, to discuss.
You're saying campuses are no longer the space for dissent and debate.
Topic at that time.
Yes.
So I think I think this space should be allowed everywhere, but I'm afraid that they also have the same double standards as they are blaming the liberals.
I want both Shazia Ilmi and Rakesh Sinha to respond to that point. There are many today who said that no primetime show would debate the fact that Shazia Ilmi was not allowed to speak in Jamia simply because there is selective outrage when it comes to matters like this. Now, I want to say to you that we are debating this tonight specifically because we believe in everybody's right to freedom of speech. Could you, Shazia Ilmi, say the same thing today? Would you support Omar Khalid's right to speak in Ramjas as much as we support your right to speak in Jamia?
I don't think that is a right to speech or freedom of speech. Call to sedition, call to dismemberment of my country and yours does not.
Where was this call? Where was this?
How do you know that it was about dismemberment of the country without listening to him? That is the problem. That is the problem.
You've got
That's her double standard showing up.
So I have a big problem. And Mridula ji, you are an RSS-hating, self-appointed priestess of liberal thought who's justifying what Jamia has done.
I'm not.
I'm sorry to say, you cannot reduce Jamia into a madrasa of thought where you can't discuss a topic like Triple Talaq, which afflicts a lot of women. Many women have gone to court. Those women have nothing to do with any party whatsoever. I was going there as a gender activist. I was harassed and discriminated against only because of my political affiliations. And I was the first one who said that if there are indeed rape threats or death threats against a young girl, there should be investigation and strict action taken.